Hello, everybody. I am What If Studier, and today we are doing What If Deku Was Cursed to Toga, part... I don't even know by this point. It's season 2. It's episode fucking something. I don't know. I'm taking off my shirt. It's hot as hell. I've been strategizing this for this whole time. I've been worrying. It has caused me immense mental stress. And now we are finally at the apex. All right, everybody. Deku... We're coming off of the last episode. Let me just explain a little bit, because I left a few things out of it. Basically, Deku, after giving basically a warning off to everybody by using his killer instinct, basically that killer bloodlust that he gets, that warns literally everybody, and everybody freaks out that there's a villain that's that powerful in the building. However, he used it and controlled it then to use it on top of Overhaul, which froze him in the middle of the air. Overhaul sent in goons after him, and Deku fought tooth and nail to try to get back to Toga. He learned what it really meant to be a hero again after trying to save some others that were being almost killed in the rubble. He learned humility again, and also the need to, focus on others other than Toga, the need to see other people, be a part of other people. And in that way, he became sort of a hero again. He's on his way, And since he was already a god of sort of bloodlust and hatred, performing all these good deeds sort of transformed him into more of a hero god. Not there quite yet, but once all of the heroes finally finish off their battles and come to witness Deku using his full power, as now the god of heroes, he is given much more strength in general. Instead of bloodlust, he gets sort of inspiration, inspiration to others. There's some lightning in the background. Very nice. Good for the show, I'd say. For plot's sake, it's better. All right. I would put some fake slow rumbles in the background if I could, but I don't know any. Anyways, Deku, using his sort of godlike powers now, just punches the shit out of Overhaul. Sort of making him fly in the air after a helicopter catches him, and Toga starts falling away from Deku, as he had forgot that he can't fly anymore because of his quirk being gone. As you can still see that he's not used to his new body. She starts falling, and then he realizes that he's falling too, as then she's caught by a helicopter and him too. He falls in the arms of Toga as she catches him. And she says, "Well, looks like I was the one to save you this time." "Stupid," he says. "Why are you calling me stupid? I just saved your ass." She's like, "Oh, you've saved me plenty of times." It's getting boring by this time, honestly. "Why can't you be the one that got captured?" "I'll show you how powerful I am now," he says. Oh my god, this bee sting. It hurts. It hurts so much." "Oh, shut up." She flicks the bee as hard as she can. Overhauls in the seat next to them, just pouting about his injuries, and then realizes that Deku's right next to him. And Deku puts his hand on his shoulder and then releases a little bit of that bloodlust that he still has. He's like, "So, you wanted to take Toga?" He's like, "Oh, please. I was just trying to, kill her in front of the whole underground." "Why would you want to do that?" "To prove my dominance." He says, "Oh, I see. Oh, that's fine then." As he just returns back to Toga, and she immediately starts hugging on the back of him as she stares daggers into Overhaul, as she knows Deku's power and the sheer bloodlust that is exuding from his body. She's playing off of that, just being like, "Yeah, Overhaul, come on. Go into your little cage now." As he's like, "Cage?" He's like, "Yeah, they have some cages under the UA. Right next to the generator." "Oh, yes. What do they use that? Electroshock therapy? I'm sure you'll have a joyous, wonderful therapeutic time." He says, "Oh, God." As then, Tom takes him all the way down to the UA as Overhaul's first shot off the helicopters. Then Toga's like, "Oh, I wish that you killed him almost." He's like, "Why would I kill him? We could totally get so much more information off of him if we keep him alive." She's like, I guess you're always right. As usual. As he's like, "And you better fucking remember it." She's like, "Oh, you're such an asshole. You're such an asshole too, sweetie." As then Tom's like, "Hello, could you please get the fuck off of my helicopter?" He's like, "Yes." I sounded real intimidating. He's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Oh, fuck." He's like, "Please, they won't want to see you right now." He's like, "Oh, that's right. I have become kind of their god, so..." "You're right, Tom. Here, take a nickel for that one." As he like flicks the nickel straight through his window that shatters it. He's like, "Oh my fucking god." He like almost soils his pants as then Deku and Toga fall down from the sky. Toga falls onto his back. As then he stands mighty tall. He seems to have gotten a little bit buffer and taller. As then he stands above all of the rest of the heroes, saying that we have won the day. I'm sure in your respective battles you had some hardship. However, that doesn't even compare to the hardship that we would have had if we lost today. You have defended your posts. Good job. As then everybody's like, "Yeah, this guy's pretty cool. Like, yeah, I see why he was the symbol of peace before." He's like, "Oh, thank God." "Toga, did you think that was a good speech?" She's like, "It was way too fucking short. You had no sort of, inspirational kind of stuff in it at all. What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know how to be a hero, all right? I'm not used to this." Ugh. She's like, "Oh, I know. Well, actually, that kind of ties into what I have you do for my birthday." He's like, "Oh, god damn it, that's right. Your birthday's tomorrow." I'll probably be able to make it, but right at the end of it, I'll have to leave for the aliens. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. What even did you do as the first assignment that you almost got, killed? Didn't you have that katana in your side? How's that feeling, by the way?" He says, "Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It feels almost a little bit like, still feels like there's a knife stab there, but I can't say, 'Oh, stop being such a baby,'" as then she immediately kisses him on the cheek. You know how Toga does. She's like, "Come on, man." As she like throws him to the fucking bed. She's like, "Just tell me what they told you to do. That's all I want to know, baby." As he's like, "Fine. It was Izawa. I mean, it was Stain. I was hired to kill Stain, alright? They gave me the coordinates to it exactly, and I was very confused because, well, it was in a suburban neighborhood. I went to check up on him, stealthily hiding in the woods. As I watched from far away, I saw that inside the house was Stain. As I immediately took out my sort of throwing knives that they had given me, with more futuristic sort of tones to them, I realized that there was a woman in the room with him, bringing in a sort of birthday cake for him. His 2 daughters came out and sat at the table. I immediately felt the regret. If I was to take him out now, I could never forgive myself. However, I had a sort of a way of getting rid of that steam. With 7 ninjas being right next to me, as they realized that I was next to them, one of them immediately threw three knives out in surprise. One of them hitting at one of his friends, as he's like, "Ah, fuck, dude. What the hell, brah?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know why they have surfer dude voices, but I'm just gonna roll with it. All right, guys." "Brah, that hurt like fuck." He's like, "Sorry, dude. We should totally get you to back to Mother," as Mother has like some sort of healing techniques. Clearly, I realized that, you know what? I'll take out if I kill these guys. Maybe they'll like allow Stain, out of all people, to live. Maybe if I sacrificed their bodies to them. So I immediately chased after them. The rest was history. And she's like, so, how did you kill them? He says, I didn't kill them, Toga. She says, oh. Well, then how did you knock them out? He says, oh, well, first of all, an uppercut to one of their stomachs was enough to send them sky high. I don't even know where that guy is. Anyways, the other one immediately charged at me with the katana that was shoved in my side. That immediately went straight into my thigh. However, I looked straight back up to him as I dragged his hand down across the blade and cut his arm off with the katana that was sliced into my leg. I grabbed his face and then punched it straight into the hilt, which hurt me and him. However, as I was trying to take it out, another guy came at me, which was the shurikens, which I immediately deflected with my arm. However, it deflected off my arm onto my shoulder. In rage, I sort of pounded that guy's face in by immediately teleporting right behind him, picking up his head and then smashing it into the floor. However, I was sidekicked by another. Once that sidekick, sort of affected me in a negative way, I was feeling like bashing some people's heads in much harder than I had before. I wasn't exactly killing intent. However, it was enough to make the guy soil his pants. However, another one came up with a katana up against fucking behind me. Sorry, guys. Anyways, one guy came up with a katana right behind me. I immediately deflected it with a flick of my finger, reflecting the katana into the woods, straight into one of the trees. The guy, shocked that I was able to do that, immediately starts to try to run away. However, I grab onto his neck and then pick up the guy that was on the ground and then smash both of their heads together, knocking them both out. So, yeah. I don't know where the other guys went, but probably retreated. Anyways, other than that, then I saw you. She's like, oh, that... I'm just surprised you didn't kill any of them. He says, oh, really? She's like, yeah, it kind of ties into my wish. He says, oh, well, what is it? She says, I won't tell you. He says, of course you won't. Fucking bitch. She's like, what? And I'm like, nothing. What exactly is your wish going to be about? She says, a little job I want you to do. With me. He says, oh, hunting again, are we? She says, maybe. He says, oh, okay. It'll just be a nice little surprise for you. He says, I see. She's like, it's going to be the biggest party ever. He's like, you always did have the biggest ambition. Bigger than I'd have. Bigger than any of us. She says, yeah, my life's kind of turned normal now. As then they go to sleep, they wake up in the morning, and then immediately, everybody bursts into the room, all the heroes. Happy birthday, Toga! As everybody worships her birthday, Minetta's there, all the rest of the top heroes are there. Momo, Uraka, fucking Tsukiyomi, even, Izawa showed up, but, it's not really around Deku. As Izawa stays among the stakes, he just, watches the place from above, watching everything go down. This party goes on from almost the middle of the day to almost, 7 o'clock at night. Deku starts to worry about his watch and how, the aliens might get annoyed at him. So he's, usually nervous, but dancing on the dance floor with Toga takes up most of his time, and seeing her happy is really all that he wants. The aliens understand as they can see through his eye about what's happening, that they implanted inside of him. Right. He starts dancing with Toga on the dance floor, and he feels like everything is perfect, As long as he keeps on doing hitman jobs, he can support Toga and him. He can be there for Toga now. She will no longer get hurt, ever. He can do things now. He can be with her. There's nothing holding him back anymore. As he releases her from his grasp on the dance floor, she continues using that momentum to go up onto the dance floor. As she gets up on the stage, she takes up the mic with the DJ in the back, next to her, stopping the music abruptly for everybody. Everybody stops dancing as they start to turn back to Toga up on the dance floor. She says, "You all are here for me. Thank you. After these 2 years, fucking Deku is finally back with us. Have a round of applause for him." As everybody, claps, and Deku's like, "Thank you. It's really nothing. Being resurrected's a true blessing." She says, "Yes, for all of us." As, she continues, she says, "Yes, these 2 years surely have been eventful for all of us. Most of us becoming the best heroes all around, proprietors of the whole place, and some of us even becoming gods of heroes." "What does she mean?" As one guy says, "Oh, you don't know. Deku's become a god of heroes." He says, "Toga, you're freaking them out." He explains to the rest of them, saying that, well, since I become this symbol of peace for all of you now, well, I become sort of the god of heroes. They're all like, I'm happy, I'm fine with it. Somehow, but it kind of makes everybody a little bit nervous about the future. However, Toga reassures them and says that it's fine, you know what? Because my birthday wish is going to help with all of this. I didn't want to be too selfless, so it's a wish for you, Deku. As he, reassuringly, he knew that she was going to ask for something from him. So he, he stands up and he comes to the front of the dance floor. She says, my request from you is kill them." He says, "What?" "Come on, Deku. Just like you did before. Kill them all. Kill them with me." He says, "This must be some kind of a joke. Toga, what do you mean?" As the rest of everybody just gets completely silent, as he realizes that nobody else is in on the joke with her, he says, "Toga, what do you mean?" Suddenly the DJ comes up and says, "Oh, this guy's just gonna wuss out now, is he? Alright, whatever. I'll just drop it harder than he can to explode out his earbuds." As he immediately starts dropping the bass, taking up 2 gigantic discs, and slaps them on the front of it, starting a miscellaneous beat of hard rock and electronic, the most annoying music that you can find. He says, "My ultimate move, dance, dance, death." As immediately both the records, light up, as they were special records, and start to glow in the dark as dead people start to rise from the grave, coming outside of the ground. Hands and other things were starting to come out of the ground as people in sort of 90s dance clothes start to come out, dancing to the music, but also start to eat people. Multiple people, biting into people, starting to endanger the whole crowd. As the heroes start to get everybody evacuated, Deku says, "Evacuate the citizens." Oh, god damn it. Mineta, stop trying to hit on the ladies and come over here and help. Stick up the dance floor, stop them from dancing. It's probably just boosting their attacks somehow. They seem to be superpowered zombies that suddenly came up from this villain's quirk. We have to get to him first. The zappy guy, the zap dude, starts electrocuting everything. However, the nuclear plant that keeps it all locked is stopping him from using his zapping quirk, and actually fries him out, so he falls asleep. As the rest of the girls start to be attacked, and the rest of the heroes are starting to are being under attack by different villains that have came from the gutters in the sky. As they all fall down and start to attack the heroes, Deku says, "Fall back and have some other people come in. We need the pro heroes more than just her friends." As Momo and Uraraka are starting to be captured, he's like, "God damn it! Someone get a check on fucking Ida, because Ida starts like tackling most enemies. However, he gets shot, and then he actually has to be taken out. Deku says, for Minato, I mean the one in a million guy, to take over for him as their commander. As one in a million guy says, like, happily, as you know, he's all happy. He's like, I think this is a very stressful moment, dude. You're not supposed to be very happy. As then he chases down Toga, who had gone backstage. She says, lure the hero back into a secure place. Make sure that nobody else is here. Make sure it has an angsty mood. Being a villain is so stressful. I'd rather just hand it. However, I would just murder everybody in my way then. Being the king of the of these heathens is so difficult. As Deku opens up the door, saying, Toga, what's this about you wanting me to kill, and what are all these villains doing here? Don't tell me. You have known from the start, Deku. As she immediately goes behind cover, going throughout the parts of the engine room that fueled the rest of, UA. She hides behind all these different fuel injectors with the mist all around them. Basically, it's every single final showdown and every single, like cop sort of thing. Yeah, they're just running around this room while they're talking. And she's like, don't you know, Deku? I've been like this since the beginning, don't you understand? He says, I know. I took all of your pain, so every single thing that happened to you happened to me. Don't you understand? I did this all to stop you from becoming this. I knew this would happen. Those 2 years were rough. Hey. Oh, you have no idea. The fire marks on your back. What were they from? Wouldn't even matter if I told you. Let's just say I found a new boyfriend while you were gone. He wasn't exactly the most emotionally stable. Dobby, goddammit. That bastard! You shouldn't blame him. I don't. Of course you would get into such a toxic relationship. Is this why? No, actually, I wouldn't watch farther than that. Going back into villainy gave me something to do in my so average normal life. I knew you didn't want to be in that life. But Toga, after all I've done, should I really just stop just because of that? He says, well, why do you want me to kill again then? I'm not asking you to kill. It was a requirement. As she comes out from the darkness, as he almost punches her, she says, come on, Deku, you would never hurt me. He says, I know, but... God damn it. Why are you being a villain now? Why now? A few days more and I could have helped you. We could have reformed the curse. I could have taken... No, we would have repeated everything then. I'd rather make progress, Deku. Why don't you just come back to being a villain? Come on. It was so good. I loved the time. You were scared and you were crying in the rubble. I know. That was only because the curse was still awake. If I had been me now, I would have relished it. I would have loved you so much. Why can't we go back, Deku? Go back to the good days. She says, and then he says, the good days? I murdered! And you, Toga, you're murdering now. People are being hurt back in the place. Don't you understand? I understand perfectly well, Deku. I've become sort of a leader in the underground. The mole man that you helped me kill, he was my competitor. He wants to expand the underground. I want to expand the overground. And Overhaul was just simply his underling. The mole man was quite the converser, you see. He was starting a coup against me. So, when you said that you needed to kill him, well, I couldn't help myself but come along. Oh, how exciting. But now you say that you don't want to murder anymore? What is this, Deku? Go back to your old self. You were so beautiful. Toga, please, come back to me. Come back to me, Deku. You were so perfect. Do I need to show you your mistakes? As she starts flipping to Mirako, who had lost her leg, to Overhaul, all for one, as he, with the depressing look on his face, and all shriveled up. He's like, what are you doing? How do you have all these people's bloods? She's like, why do you think I've had them as my best friends for so many years? After all, I was a villain. Why would I? You gathered their blood, didn't you? Every single last drop. God damn it! As she starts to roll through every single person that he had hurt, that he had beaten, she says, oh, this one you destroyed his arm, didn't you? You ripped off this one and then shoved it into his mouth. Oh, this one works perfectly. Oh, Jiro. And I was lucky to find some of his blood before it had all disappeared after you killed him. You were quite fond of this boy, right? He was your brother, and you killed him. He says, stop! Stop it! She says, I can almost mimic anybody else's quirks now. It's almost perfect. Thank you for the quirk buff, by the way, Deku. It was much needed. Stop it! Stop it! You murdered all of these people. She starts shuffling through all of the people that were murdered in the city that day. He says, how? Why? Why are you doing this? Snap, Deku! Snap for me! Snap and do what you know is right. Come back to me, Deku. Stop it. I can't take it. Come on, Deku. Return from whence you came. As then Deku hears a gunshot. As then Toga is shot in the solar plexus. She falls down straight onto Deku's shoulder as she crawls. As Deku looks up to see, Izawa staring down at both of them with wide eyes after he had murdered his way to get to them. Deku says, Izawa, don't do it. Thank you so much for... Fuck! Jesus Christ. I guess that's going to be included because I have no storage space. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys had a wonderful time listening to my voice. It was I who farted, and I will be gone. Goodbye.